Aviation Heritage Center in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Under my left arm is a display case with a lot of the memorabilia that I accumulated over the years. Particularly one down there at the bottom is my old passport, which had a lot of pages added into it due to the amount of travels I've had over the years. Today we're going to talk about airdropping. Airdropping was the main tool in Laos to resupply the Hmong fighters and their fire bases in the country. We did the airdropping because landing there was probably not a good idea due to the enemy proximity, or there was no airstrip there whatsoever. Most of the villages we resupplied by dropping rice to them. The rice would be bagged in 100 kilo bags, 40 kilos in the bag, and then double bagged. It would be 1,200 pounds on a pallet that would go out the back of the airplane at 800 feet at 105 knots. The reason for that altitude was it gave time for the bags to come off the pallet and slow due to the air resistance, and the last 50 feet or so fall vertically so that the bags would not break. These airdrops were controlled in the back by what we called kickers, or air freight specialists for a technical name. But the kickers were the guys that kicked the pallets out of the side of a DC-3 or a C-46. But in the 123, they didn't have to kick it out. It went out of the back of the airplane because it was on rollers. And I bring the nose up and add power and jets, and the acceleration of the airplane would cause it to roll out the back of the airplane after they cut a strap behind it. The airdropping was a ballet in the sky, and we had a lot of different things we did drop, both rice and munitions. Munitions normally were palletized, and we dropped fuel drums too. And each fuel drum would have a small parachute on it to allow it to fall to the ground without bursting. One such fuel drop that I had up to the south end of the PDJ, plane to jars, I lined up and called drop. And, instead of calling load clear from the loadmaster in the back, he said, "Oh my God." Well, I thought maybe we were getting shot at, so I cranked it over hard to the left, and as I came around a 180-degree turn, I could see 3 chutes bullseyeing the drop zone. But there was 2 chutes fluttering down without anything underneath them. And there was a fire blooming in the trenches around this site. And the customer on the ground called, Big Bird, no drop no more, no drop no more, you burn us up." And went back to Saigon, and I found out there that those 2 drums did not have the parachutes attached to the ring on the top of the drum. And that's what caused the fire and deaths of the people on the ground. From then on, I'd always check the load a little closer, and it did impact me quite badly for a while. But I also realized we had to do this to keep them fueled with not only fuel but munitions so that they could survive out there in these fire bases in the field. The guys controlling the back of the airplane were called kickers, or air freight specialists. These guys had a rough job. They had to ride around the back of the airplane where most of the bullet holes would end up, and also follow the instructions of the captain in the front of the bus. In turbulence, they had a tough job moving these pallets back towards the edge of the ramp and placing a strap behind them so they didn't fall out until they were ordered to cut that strap, and the load would roll out the back of the airplane. It was a thankless thankless job in many cases, and most of these guys were true professionals. One kicker of note, Gene Hassenfuss, who went on to later adventures in South America, but also had Lao and Thai kickers in the back. And some of these guys were absolutely excellent. There was one, or actually two, Sampap and Sudi, that I really enjoyed working with. They were true pros. They'd been paratroopers in the Thai military and had everything together, and they were excellent as far as from the command standpoint. And they let you know if there was a problem right away. But the time went on, and I kept dropping all over the country. There was funny episodes too, because I'm dropping up north of the Plain de Jars, and kicker in the back screamed, "I'm hit, I'm hit." And well, of course, I brought the jets on the line and climbed out of there and sent the co-pilot back to see what was going on. And he came back to the cockpit laughing. And I said, "There's nothing to laugh about here. The guy's hurt." He said, no, he's not. The round hit the hydraulic tank behind him, and it was spraying hot hydraulic fluid on his back, which is red. And he thought it was blood, but it was nothing fatal whatsoever. He picked up the nickname Bullet after that, and it became a barroom joke, not to his great joy, and he remained that nickname of Bullet throughout his whole career over there. Thank you very much.